Appreciate you supporting Tallahassee's only locally owned and operated radio station. That's right. It's this. Way to be local. Good job, everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, Warchant TV, thank you as well for that. That, too, is local. We appreciate you. On Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. Hall of Fame game tonight, which means, again, football kind of begins. Really, that was true yesterday. And I don't know why. That little taste, that little glimpse of Florida State practicing yesterday buoyed me yet again. I was sort of pumped about that. I thought, oh, all right, feeling good. Brett says San Diego Chargers, by the way, Brett, they don't exist. You mean the Los Angeles Chargers. Have 4 quarterbacks on their roster. Without cheating, can you name them? I'll do my best. Trey Lance is one of them. He's starting tonight. DJU is one of them. He, too, is on the roster. Taylor Heineke is also on that roster. The 4th.
Justin Hebert.
The starter. The best of the bunch. There's your 4, Brett. How about that? I should flex. We're ready for football. Wasn't looking anything up. Boom. Feel good about it, huh? How about that? We're ready to go. We are ready to go. I'm pumped, man. I'm ready. Listen, I'm going to watch the Hall of Fame game tonight. Maybe not all of it, but I'm going to watch the Hall of Fame game tonight. It is opposing uniforms. They're real NFL teams. There are guys on the roster who will play tonight that are going to make the team. So I'm in. I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to be overzealously watching it. I'm not going to be like, whoa, and a play is made. It would be silly to do such a thing. After all, Trey sorry-ass Lance is starting tonight, but I'm going to be in. I'll do it. And, by the way, this little thing here will probably allow me to wager a little bit on a play or over or whatever it might be. I'm in. Plus the golf got started today, so I've already got wagers going on there. We're jumping in. We're jumping into the deep end. It's time to get it on. You got gambling from now until March. I mean, football is being played from this day forward all the way through the end of February. Holy moly, is that a glorious thing? It is. It really is. Now, you might say, well, yeah, no, I got it. You want something more meaty? A little bit more meat on the bone that matters?
Hey.
22 days, 23 hours, 49 minutes, 45 seconds until the start of college football. 22 days, 23 hours, 49 minutes, 37 seconds. Till the start of college football. So that's where we're at. 34 seconds. This is where we're at. So counting it down, man, when you get under 20, which we will when we come back on Monday, we're under 20. It feels rushed. It's funny. I'm not a coach at Florida State, if you didn't notice. But I feel the urgency that they have. And I'm excited about that. I mean, partly because, look, man, you've got Alabama out the gates. You could get embarrassed if you're not ready. You've got to be ready. I mean, you should always be ready. But when you're coming out the gates and it's against a directional school that's, a team you could beat in your sleep just running the same play over and over and over again because you're physically dominant, it's a whole different level of urgency, quote unquote, that you feel. This is not that. This is the antithesis of that. And then they didn't get anything done. They really didn't get a lot done, let's put it that way, in the spring. Because you had so many of the guys that you're relying on most to start for you that were not available. And you could sense the frustration from Gus and really frustration for all the coaches having to deal with that. That's just the way it is. But now time is of the essence. And we saw that yesterday with the snippets of film that we got. Aslan posted there, and you helped post on there on Warchant. You could watch that on the YouTube channel. You see, they're hitting the ground running is the way I feel like the sense you get is that they're, as they should. They don't have a lot of time.
What I like about this group so far is a lot of them have personalities that I'm interested in.
Me
and
too.
I'm talking about the players and the coaches. If you did caricatures of a lot of the cast of characters, either from the staff or from the roster, I mean, they play it up to the hilt. Like, there's disinterested in being public Gus Malzahn, right? Like, he's like, whatever. I'm just doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And like, you can paint him in a picture.
Cantankerous old man over here. Got it.
Right. Rocking chair on the
That's
front.
fine.
Yes,
That's
right,
fine.
right.
It's a character.
And then you've got the eternal optimist in Deuce Robinson. Deuce
Good God.
thinks everything is awesome.
And
but
he
you know
thinks
what?
everybody is awesome.
We kind of need that energy after 2-10. We kind of need that energy.
We do. I agree with that.
You've got an old soul who'll put his arm around your shoulder in Richie Leonard. You've got a brash, confident, sometimes in the clouds, but sometimes pretty reasonable quarterback in Tommy Castellanos. Interesting personality there. You got Darrell Jackson, soft-spoken, kind of a mystery, a mountain of a man.
Hulking.
Right. Jerry Wilson, a.k.a. Jeremiah Wilson. Really big personality, but extremely diligent worker. And you could go back to the staff again. Terrence Knighton, yesterday, not having it in the heat. Love it. Mike Norvell wants to keep things on a completely even keel at this point in his tenure. He's been up and down, but it feels like right now he's just going to kind of be more monotone Mike than he's ever been before. Luke Pettibon yesterday spoke to the media. No nonsense enforcer type of the offensive line. Like, man, there are a lot of personalities on this team. Diligent, studious linebacker in Juice Cryer. There's a lot of things, a lot of pieces with this team, and they're compelling so far.
It's going to be a compelling story to begin with. I was listening to a pod today in which it was a college football pod. It was a big picture pod. It was a sort of a preseason outlook for many of the conferences. And when they got to the ACC, I was listening to double speed, took your advice. I was trying to get through. I saw that there was going to be some talk of FSU, really the ACC in general. So I kind of forwarded it to
That's
that.
how I do Mike's pressers now. When I look at him on the YouTube, it was like 2x, please. Let's roll.
But I was trying to get through it really quick. I wanted to hear if I was able to glean anything that I thought was interesting or news to me or anything like that. Namely, I wanted to hear less about us because I cover this team. More about the other teams in the conference to see who they thought was going to be a surprise in the league. And I say this all the time. It's just true. Every year, every league has a team that surprises the people of that league. Like, oh, man, so-and-so's a lot better than we thought they were going to be. And every year there's a team that a lot of people thought would be good. Unfortunately, we were that team a year ago that falls flat on their face. Maybe not to the extent that you go 2-10, but, that happens. And so you're always wondering who's the best candidate for that? Who's the most volatile of the bunch? And, the team preseason, if you say to me any given year, who's somebody in the ACC that you think will be better than they're projected to be? Every year, I'm going to say Pitt. Narduzzi gets guys to play hard, if nothing else. They're always going to play hard. They can be a difficult team to beat because if you don't bring your A game, they are going to be physical. And you have to want to match that physicality. You should have a better roster, more speed, overall talent, but they're going to hit you in the mouth. They're going to play that way, and I always admire that about them, right? Because if you play that way, you can win 6-7 games. And, last year they got off to that great start, and then they fell flat on their face down the stretch. I think they lost the last 5 games, last 6 games, whatever it was. But they're a team that, if you don't play well, you can get beat by. So every year I kind of pick them.
I know last year is an outlier to what I'm about to say, but I feel like if you go on the road to play Pitt in November, they're either going to keep it within a score or they're going to beat you outright. Like, they're going to do that to somebody.
They're problematic. Yeah.
So here it is. I'm calling my shot right now. Saturday, November 15th from Heinz Field. I don't care what they call it now.
Correct.
Notre Dame travels to Pitt. Take the points. Take the points right now. I don't know if Pitt's going to win outright, but the whole college football world
like an upset game in a little bit
is going to say, whoa, what's going on? And then, better still, the week we play Florida after Thanksgiving, Miami heads up to Pitt, which has been their NC State.
Yeah.
Heinz Field. That game in the high grass is going to be 17-17 in the fourth quarter.
Oh, I hope you're right, buddy.
You can book it.
I would love for that to be the case, but that's the team I would pick. And then if you pick a team that's going to be disappointing, it varies. That can, a lot of times I'll say Miami for obvious reasons. And for years I was right. Unfortunately, recently, off and on, it's been us. So, trying to find a little bit more consistency there. But the point would be that as I was going through this, one of the analysts was saying, well, I think Florida State fans would be happy with 6-6. And I went, you don't know Florida State fans, sir. Ain't nobody around here going to be happy with 6-6.
Only if this year is a zero-sum game in which they want a new head coach.
I mean,
would they be like, all right, good enough. Well done. New coach. Bring him on down. That's the only fan, the only subtype of fan that would be happy with such a record.
Yeah. Well, again, I know we'll do a W's and L's before the start of the season, but here's the problem. Once again, this is the problem with 6-6. You have two games, East Texas A&M and Kent State, that are automatic wins. So that means of the other 10 games that you play, you won 4. No, man. No. You win 4 games here. No. That won't work. Your record will say 6-6, and we'll all know, nah, they were a 4-win team. That's what they were.
A bowl-eligible team.
No, that will not work. 7-5 keeps his job, but nobody's happy. Nobody's happy. I'll tell you this, I think, because again, I've said this for years, and it's true, and it works both ways, though, Tom. Wins and losses happen for a reason. And when you can get engaged in speculative talk, conjecture, you can talk about what an overall record looks like and what it means, but it excludes in the course of that conversation the way the games were played and the results, how they made you feel. It's never in a vacuum. You can say that something might represent improvement, but you're excluding the way the games made you feel when you watch them. How did you win or lose really does matter. What were the circumstances? Did you come in hobbled and play your ass off and lose by 3 on the road to Clemson? That's a very different deal than if you were to go up there perfectly healthy on a 3-game win streak and get blown out by 40. That's a different conversation. They're both losses, but it's very different the way it would make you feel. So I know that if this team is 8-4, but they get blown out by Alabama, they get blown out by Miami, they get blown out by Clemson, and they get blown out by Florida, 8-4 is not going to make anybody feel better. Even though, in theory, 2-10 to 8-4, hell of a turnaround. Even though, in theory, if you go from 2-10 to 8-4, you're going to probably finish, at least in the ACC, top 5, top 4 of the league. Likely, somewhere in there.
Yeah, you would have 6 conference wins. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be 6-2 in the ACC. People would go, oh, man, market improvement. Wait. Is anybody going to be happy given the scenario? No. Now you go 8-4 and you lose. Maybe you lose a game on the road to, or maybe you lose a home game to Virginia Tech and it's a great game, 27-24. But you also won one of those 4 games that you're projected to be an underdog in, and you play well in the other games. That's a different look at 8-4. Is my point.
Yeah, call it Florida at the end of the year.
Yeah, beat the Gators in the swamp. Beat Miami here in a great game, pull off the upset. You're going to be an underdog, significant underdog. That could be a big, changes. So we know the way the games are played, how they make you feel, the wins and losses that happen for a reason. What are those reasons? Are they acceptable reasons or are they absurd the way last year was? We know this. I get a sense that right now, as we're set to play Alabama, and maybe we're inclined to be this way as fans. I'm a fan right now having this conversation. I think we all deep down want to be optimistic about a thing that we embrace and love so much, whether that's a trip you're going to go on to a place you've never been. You start thinking of all the ways that that's going to be fun, all the reasons that it should be something that you really remember and hang on to. And it takes an awful lot to dislodge us from something like that. So if you had this vacation planned and you go to that city and you go there with your eyes wide open, all excited, and you've been talking about it for months on end, we're finally going, and it sucks. It takes a while for you to accept that this sucks. Because you don't want to believe it. Like that first day, you're like, a little different than I thought it was going to be, guys. But you're still open-minded. Day 3, you're like, we shouldn't have come here. This is ass. This is not. Damn it. It takes a while.
It does
because you don't want to believe it.
Yeah, there's a microcosm of that, which is the going to the restaurant, and it takes a while. You get seated.
Food takes too long.
Or they haven't come to get your drink order. Well, they're very busy.
Look around.
And there's usually somebody.
It's a very popular place.
There's a peacemaker at the table too. Either the person who vouched for the restaurant, or the person who's just trying to disarm the bomb before the bomb even gets armed. And look at this. They're incredibly busy tonight. Wow.
It's very popular.
Service industry is so difficult these days.
Can't get good people.
What
are you going to do?
Just like they're understaffed.
Wait till we get the food, though.
I mean, that's on the manager. They're understaffed.
Yeah. They got to do better. They should know it's a Friday night.
Right. And then that same person, a half an hour later, I said, medium. This is a hockey puck. And the other person at the table says, well, what do you want to do? I mean, the chefs are overworked.
Yeah. No. This place is not very good. Or they're having a bad night. That's what we're going to say at that point, right? It's like we do that. So I'm laughing thinking because I sense the momentum we all have right now as fans. We're beginning to tell ourselves, I like this bunch. I'm feeling good about these guys. We're in that stage right now. It's going to take a lot to dislodge us from our stance. Right now, we're going, yeah, great attitudes. Look at the way they're working. A lot of dynamic personalities. I kind of like this bunch. That's the part we're in right now. And that's fine. You should. It's our squad. It's who we love. And there's plenty of promise in this group. Right. There is. There's plenty of promise. It's not devoid. It's not empty speculative excitement and enthusiasm, but it is, we're inclined to it anyhow.
In speculation season, you're looking for reasons, but they are giving you reasons. And for me, I think they're interesting. They're compelling human beings that we're covering this year. All these new guys. Because I didn't even mention Tony White. I mean, come on.
I love Tony White. I've loved Tony since the first day we talked to him.
Right.
And just,
Tim Harris. I can't wait to see what that receiver room looks like with Tim Harris guiding the ship, because there's a lot of young talent there as well. Javen Boggs is somebody that everybody's going to talk about.
They got him as the next Randy Moss.
That is the one thing that I am resisting. I am totally resisting.
You're mad about it. You're doing this and you're not mad. But what you're doing is when I told you, you're going to have to watch Breaking Bad. Would you stop being an ass and just watch Breaking Bad? You're like, I will. I'll get to it. What? It's been 2 years, right. Tom. Are you going to get to it or not?
Yeah, I'd walk in, you and show contributor Chris, but you guys talking about Gus and Mike again?
Yes.
What Gus and Mike are doing?
Yes, it's incredible.
Yeah.
By the way, don't you think that the great irony was that it flipped on its head for Better Call Saul?
Oh, yes, it did.
It flipped on its head.
I worked so hard to get you to watch that.
You were like, dude, you've got to watch Better Call Saul. After years you wouldn't watch, and then you did. You're like, it's great. You're right. It is great. I should have watched this sooner. Then finally, I watched Better Call Saul because you kept saying, Jeff, I don't understand. I mean, what do I got to tell you?
Slower, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
All of it. And then I did. And by the third episode, I texted you like, this is incredible. I don't know what I was doing. Why did I wait so long? Just like you were like, why didn't I watch? What was I doing? But because somewhere in there, it's like a movie. People tell you over and over and over, you got to see this. It's incredible. You're so worried it can't possibly live up to the expectation.
Anchorman was like that for me because I was in high school and everybody quoted the whole movie. So what's the point? I've already seen the damn movie.
And then you saw it and loved it.
It took me 2 years,
but
because I would hear my friends talking as Will Ferrell says, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. But yes, then I found time to finally appreciate it for myself. Everybody's talking about Boggs, and I get it.
everybody is talking about Javon Boggs. Yes.
Deuce is exceptionally optimistic. And so you could even toss that particular comment out from yesterday.
Has there ever been a more optimistic human being? I mean, I find it infectious. Deuce is infectious.
We really need that. Like all of us as people.
Yes. I mean that as a compliment of the highest regard. He's eloquent. I believe it's genuine. It may not be accurate. We'll find out. But I believe it's genuine.
He loves to play. He loves the game.
Yes.
He loves.
Oh, I love listening to him talk.
Well, he said something during the Climb episode over the summer when they had the Tommy Castellanos thing when, it was
over the top Joe Montana discussion.
Well, and he was quoted say something. There are some throws, and I was thinking to myself, how can anyone do this? And I'm like, how can anyone do this?
I've seen lots of people make throws. Yes.
What the hell? But then yesterday you see, and I'll tell Dominic this too. I'm not afraid to talk to Dad about it. But then I see the presser yesterday. I'm like, oh, he's just the eternal optimist. Good. And he's an optimist who works. There's a lot of people who are optimistic and they don't do a damn thing. You're like, well, you're just gonna tra-la-la-la through the world, and you're not gonna work behind it. He works. He works his ass off. And I've been told, and so have you, that receiver room was among the worst in the program last year in terms of morale. And what Deuce was able to do pretty early on was help flip that morale and get it to a better place. Now, they got to catch passes and score touchdowns and run fast and do all that stuff. But that receiver room's morale was low. Deuce Robinson has done a lot to help repair that, at least in one position group.
By the way, Cody said, I hope Boggs isn't the next Dre Jacobs. You guys were pushing him to the moon. Listen, Dre Jacobs was immensely talented. And
we said he was more gifted than game ready than Hakeem right off the bat, and he was.
Vidrevius Jacobs was.
Yeah, explosive out of his breaks.
We had it right. He couldn't keep it together off the field. He had a real problem with attitude. He had a real issue doing all the things you got to do to get on the field. His talent was never in question. And that is always the one thing that, you got to keep in mind, no matter who's talking about it, me, anybody else, it doesn't matter. If a guy can run like the wind blows, that's a fact. He can, if you got a guy running a 40 and 4.3, he's flying, period. That's not up for debate. It's true. You may never see it come to fruition because he can't get on the field to run and utilize that 4.3 because he's a malcontent. He's a habitual line stepper. And you can't put him out on the field. It happens. And we've had some guys like that. But the talent's there. It's just, it's what it is. And it was frustrating. Really frustrating. So practice was open to everyone but Warchant media staff yesterday? Laugh out loud. No, we were there.
20-minute viewing period. We knew that it was mostly for AV, but what they did do was allow the media to come in, not just for walkthroughs, like for actual, drills. Things, position drills when they were upping the intensity a little bit. It wasn't the first 4 or 5 periods. It was, as Ira put it, kind of more the middle portion of practice, which was good because it's better for, the B-roll we need and the photos we need because that's it. Now, from now on, unless they change their policy mid-camp,
else.
We got what we got in terms of photos and video and observations.
Yeah. No, everybody was, I don't know where you got that impression, Adam. We had 4 people out there yesterday for Warchant and along with everybody else. It was, but again, you're not going to get anything. It's going to be one of these situations where you're going to have to trust Mike. After practice every day, you're going to have to trust what Mike says. And I don't think he's going to say much. I think it's going to be tight-lipped, and we're all going to be waiting for the first game, which, fine with me. More golf for you and I. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Ain't nothing but a G-Pod, babe.
Pods today.
Baby.
See? Remix.
Well, actually, that's more of an homage.
Grassroots coffee, locally owned, locally roasted, and made for everyone, loved everywhere.
Grassroots Coffee G-Pods. So very good.
Attention all sandwich lovers. Café de Martín is bringing Peruvian fire to your lunch break with their all-new summer sandwich combos. Asado that melts in your mouth. Fried fish so fresh and crispy, it snaps. And smoked pork or chicken? Yes, please. Comboed with Peruvian fries and an iced tea for just $15. Available Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 3. Upgrade your lunch at Café de Martín in the Esposito Shopping Center. Online at cafedemartin.com.
When you need the plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to wait?
Hey guys, we really need you over here. My toddler just flushed a whole bunch of toys down the toilet and everything, and I mean everything, is backing up.
2 hours?
Hey guys, just checking in. The water has reached the hallway now and it's getting pretty deep. Can you get here anytime soon?
4 hours?
Hey guys, can you please hurry? Now my wiener dog is doing the backstroke over here and they're not known to be strong swimmers. Hey honey, grab his life jacket.
8 hours?
Oh, so now you're here.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. Our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. And now M&L Plumbing can also be your go-to for all septic tank pump-out services. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing. Your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or online at mnlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
The 2025 hurricane season is here. Are your gutters and drains up for the challenge? If not, now's the time to call New Vision Gutters. Your trusted local team that keeps water out, no matter what the skies throw at you. Full service from top to bottom for gutter repairs, gutter installs, leaf and debris guards, drainage fixes. We handle it all. Don't wait for the next big storm to find out you've got a problem. Call locally owned New Vision Gutters today. We keep our minds in the gutters, so you don't have to. Online at newvisiongutters.com.
Some men follow the crowd. Others take the long way, the wayward way. At thewaywardgent.com, we've curated the gear, gadgets, and grit every respectable man needs, from the fairway to the fire pit. We've identified the top-rated Amazon finds, so you don't have to. No fluff, just the good stuff. Visit thewaywardgent.com for the man who's not afraid to live a little off course. Thewaywardgent.com.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Yeah, so I can tell it's Redemption Thursday time, Tom. I'm over here in the sports book during the breaks, checking on some win totals for college football. Well, they keep updating some of this now, and that's the good thing. So you're just looking at win totals, having some fun with it.
I still got to get down with the Hard Rock people and prove my identity.
Oh, you better get on it, man. You got some preseason football to bet.
Yes, I like to bet futures. The biggest thing I do is season futures, and I know probably in about a week, 10 days, that the Braves future is going to come in, which will help me fortify some extra bets for NFL futures because I'm getting ready to do NFL team totals.
Yeah, NFL futures are out and about. You can look at all of those numbers. You can conference winner, division winner, exact results. You can bet on the exact results. You can bet on winning the conference. You can bet on, total wins, all that good stuff. So it's all there, man. If you wanted to bet the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, you get them at plus 850 right now. If you wanted to bet the LA Rams to win the Super Bowl, you can get them at a robust plus 2,300.
23-1.
That's pretty amazing. That's not a bad team.
No, they were nearly the NFC representative last year. Wasn't they far off?
They just about beat the Eagles.
Yeah. That D-line's only going to get better.
To win the Super Bowl, you get Buffalo and Baltimore at plus 600. Those two teams, both in the AFC, obviously, they think they have the exact same odds to win the Super Bowl. The Eagles are behind them at plus 700.
That feels like a sucker bet, unless they've got a lot of good young talent on defense. That's a salary cap casualty side of the ball.
Oh, hell, the Lions won 14 games last year. You can get them for the Super Bowl at plus 1,100. But, they had a all-world offensive lineman retire.
It feels like last year was the one. Maybe not, but it feels like last year was the opportunity.
It feels like that window's closing a little bit.
Yeah, man, you had home field.
A lot of these windows for college football already came and went. Like, you could have jumped early on like I did with Clemson. I went over the 9.5 the first day it came out. I was like, yep, going to go there because the worst they're going to do is 10-2.
That feels like a week one cash if they beat LSU.
It does.
If they're 1-0, you are in business.
Yeah.
If they don't, it's interesting at least.
Well, the same would go for LSU because they're plus 8.5. If they beat Clemson, feel pretty good about that total. Them getting to 9 wins. As for some of the others, I really want to bet the under on Indiana's 8.5. But this is the charting tonight. This is the stuff while watching the Hall of Fame game.
Interesting. So LSU's number is 8.5, huh?
It is in some books. It may have shifted. I gotta go.
I just pulled up their W's and L's, and it's an interesting layout of the schedule. It's pretty evenly distributed for difficulty. Like, it's like good game, layup win. Good game, layup win. The whole way through.
Mm-hmm. Today is Major League Baseball's trade deadline. It's all happening right now while we're on the air. So if the big names go, we'll talk about it and we'll go from there. Meanwhile, this is the last chance to gain points to get into the FedEx Cup playoffs. I know that many of you care, but it is also the last chance for guys fighting to get on the Ryder Cup team. So you're going to see a lot of folks trying to improve their lot. So, for example, who stands to gain the most today? Well, I think you could make the argument also bogeys so frequently that is Jordan Spieth trying to fight his way inside that top 20 and get a pick?
He's way outside of the top 20,
he's 25th,
isn't he?
I think he's 25th. Maybe 27th.
Yeah.
But I think he can get inside that top 20 because he makes so many putts. So you wouldn't play him all the time. You'd have him, you got to make putts in a Ryder Cup.
No, agreed. The problem is his Ryder Cup record is ass the last couple of go-arounds too.
Yeah.
And JT was the one that carried him last time in Italy. So they were a good partnership together. But like sans JT, Jordan, the last 2 Ryder Cups has been not so great.
Out of nowhere, Cam Young today shoots a 63, 7 under. He's a guy that, same thing. But I would think no way. My man, Joel Damon. It's Joel Damon season. -9 with a 61.
I know. He and his caddy split just recently.
Did they really?
Yeah. Now that's the episode I want to see on Netflix. I want to know what happened. They were very compelling people.
Adam Scott good today, 500. Thank you, Adam. I may have sprinkled some pizza money out there for old Adam. Need that to be the case. They have sprinkled some pizza money on a top 20 for Harry Hall, who shot a 66 today. There you go, Harry Hall. Have yourself a season. We all got introduced to Harry Hall today, or this year, I should say. Well, all of us gamblers did. That's another way of looking at it. I'll circle back. Let's talk football in a second. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A heat advisory remains in effect. Chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. High temperatures reach up to 95. Southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms tonight. Lows around 76. Mainly clear skies. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently 96.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can put him to the test. Barry knows heating and air conditioning. Keeping you comfortable. Here's what Barry does best.
No matter matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. Now you can schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device. Any day, anytime, anywhere. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Barano Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. There he is. Haven't seen this guy since, what was it? Oh, shoot. U2 at the Sphere in Las Vegas, baby.
Hey, how about that, man? Wasn't that fun?
Good show. Good show. Everything about it. Nearly perfect. Nearly perfect.
I had everything I could possibly want.
I wanted one thing, couldn't find it, and I looked everywhere. No Cubans.
What do you mean?
No Cubans.
There was Cubans.
No, I didn't see any Cubans.
Dude,
No.
I'm sure there was Cubans there. I mean, you know.
No. I walked around. There was a moment right before the show. I thought, got to find some Cubans. Nothing.
Dude, there's Cubans. There was Cubans. I'm sure there was Cubans.
In Las Vegas?
In Las Vegas.
No Cubans in Vegas.
There's Cubans in Vegas, man.
Eddie, there were no Cubans.
Chef.
The sandwich. There were no Cuban sandwiches. You're Cuban. Of course I know there were Cubans there.
Oh, the sandwich. Yeah, no, there probably wasn't many there in Vegas.
No Cubans.
No, not yet.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
By the way, John Pack, thank you for updating me, Brett. Yeah, I did see that during the break, -3 through 17. All right, Johnny, let's continue to improve our position on the world rankings and kind of move on. People doing all that they can to make sure they secure their card. What are we talking about this time next year? Florida State football. On this day next year when we're pumped about the start of a new season, and we will be, what are we reflecting on?
Man, that is a loaded ass question.
It's tough, isn't it? I kind of thought about it last night a little, and I've been kicking it around a little. I mean, I certainly found some value, but at the same time, a lot of unknowns.
We're talking about a team of unknowns again, because you're going to have to replace the entirety of your offensive line. You hope that you graduate a couple of kids up the ranks that gets significant reps this year. Maybe somebody sneaks into a starting job before this season's over, so you have one offensive lineman that you feel good about. But think about it. I mean, these are all super seniors that you brought in. So that's going to be all overhauled. You're going to have probably 2 new starting receivers, if not 3. You're going to have a tight end graduate up the ranks, but he'll be a new starter because Pittman was your starter. Chroma will be what we're talking about, I think. And then on defense, you're going to have a lot of defensive linemen that are brand new. Man, we're going to have to overhaul again next year. So we're talking about a lot of unknowns, either hopefully from the current roster, which would be nice for once, or, 10 to 12 transfer starters that have come in.
Here's my answer. Kevin Sperry. That's who we'll be talking about. He'll be the starting quarterback next year.
Okay, could be.
That's who we'll be talking about, and I think we'll be excited about him in this offense.
Because of what he did against Commerce back in September the year prior?
Because of every second of every day, if he gets asked about it at all, the way that Gus lights up. He doesn't light up when he's talking about a certain other quarterback. But boy, does he ever light up when that young man's name comes up. And I don't know, we love to love the backup quarterback or the newest quarterback, so it's fair to be, somewhat jaded there and go, come on, man, we've done this before. Jeff, you even loved Brock Glenn because of that one great practice he had. I did. He had a practice for the ages, one of the greatest practices I've ever seen. Turns out he couldn't do it the next day and the next day and the next day. That's what it was. It's a shame. But I think Brock's probably pretty close to being passed right now. And I don't think there's any chance Brock is our next quarterback. Could be wrong. I like Brock. I like Brock's work ethic. I think Brock's a tough kid. But I just noticed the way the current offensive coordinator talks about the other kid and not him.
Well, I wonder what the chances are that offensive coordinator is here next year too. I mean, he's in the latter stages of his career. If it's a night and day offense for Florida State, he'll get a call from somebody. If he really flipped this thing and turn this into a mid 30 points per game offense. Because again, remember, you're playing enough ACC teams that you can get that average up pretty high. Interesting. If he in his second year he was ready to take the mantle, sure, that's all we would be talking about. But my concern is just thinking about that roster 12 months forward from now. You're gonna have to go get some transfers, man. Like a lot of them.
Well,
lot of them.
Let's see though, Tom. Yeah, I get it. I can argue it both ways. Right now, you've done a shockingly decent job of recruiting coming off of 2-10.
Yeah. Yep.
Now
those kids aren't going to help next year. Maybe one of them or two of them at most.
Right. But I'm telling you, at some point, you're going to need to start biting the bullet and go through the transformational transition season that you should have gone through last year. We did have that conversation a year ago. I thought that they didn't need to bring in as many people as they did. They should have wore that 7-5 potential season or 6-6 and started Brock or Luke through the whole season and figured out what they had. That's at some point you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to stop mass overhauling your roster every season. I don't think it's sustainable. It's not ideal, and I believe it'll have dramatically different results year over year. You're going to be great, then terrible, then great, then pretty good, then awful, then great, then terrible again. And it's no way to live.
I agree that it's extremely volatile. But at the same time, I look at the trenches and you might have out of, let's call it 8 positions because Tony likes to have 3 down linemen, right?
So Simmons will start next year. Otto will start next year. So you got to name 3 other starters on the offensive line.
You might still bring in another transfer to compete for a starting job because you want the depth.
You might,
because is Daniels going to be ready next year? Is Jaden Todd going to be ready? Who else is the next wave? It's nice that you have a couple starters, but what about the guys behind them? Because they'll need backups, So you probably bring in 3 starters in the offensive line and 2 on the defensive line, right? That's 5. Because Daryl's gone, Wynn might replace him.
Well, Wynn will replace him. He'll be the guy if things work out the way they're projected and the way they recruited. Yes, he will be that guy.
Will Tylon Lee be ready to be an edge rusher for you? I'm hearing more about the Desir twins than I'm hearing about Tylon Lee.
Agreed.
Is that a good thing? I don't know.
Well, don't love it, but the Desir twins are here.
Yeah. And L.A. Jesse Harold? Will he be ready? I don't know. At linebacker, you're probably going to have to bring in 1 or 2 guys because Herring will be gone. Thompson will be gone. You might need to bring in 1 or 2 there. Jeremiah Wilson's gone. Will we ever get something out of some of those blue chip corners that we're
good
so
God,
hopeful
man.
for?
You have to get something out of them by now. Those are talented guys. Yeah. Those are guys that, and we have, again, different system, different coordinator looking at them, different coaching staff. I think you're going to see a little bit better development.
If that happens, then you're not going to have to go into the portal in mass.
As much, right.
But you're still you're asking me what's happening next year. I just think there's still going to be many questions for that roster because you're going to be dealing with, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll set the over under at 9.5 and I'll be optimistic. 9.5 starters between the 2 sides of the ball, probably that will be coming from the portal.
That's a hell of a lot better than 18.
Yeah, it is. It is.
We got to start whittling
an
this
optimistic
down.
Number. Yeah,
I do. I think we got to start whittling this down to where it's 4 or 5 or 3 or 4, and they're big. They're big impact guys. That's the route I would like to take. Not everybody agrees. Some people say you just perpetually keep doing this. I don't think it's ideal.
If we're talking about Sperry next year, though, that means that we will have a lot of money to go into the portal and go grab other guys.
Yeah.
Because Sperry wouldn't be if we go and grab a veteran quarterback, we're not talking about Sperry. You know what I mean? Like, so if they like what they see out of Sperry this
and
fall,
they do.
Well, they do at this present moment, yes. But let's just say in December when they're making decisions on do we need to go into the roster, into the portal to grab another guy. Like, because I don't think we would have projected them to go get corner or running back. And we thought, whoa, that sends a signal that we did not expect to catch.
Now, remember, they have a quarterback committed.
Yeah, they do. But somebody's got to start high-level football games for you next year on a schedule that has Bama, Notre Dame, Clemson, Miami, and Florida.
The schedule's a problem no matter who's starting for you, whether you bring somebody in or not. Agreed. But what I'm saying, look, go watch. You know what I'm talking about. Gus lights up.
Yeah.
He is over the moon for Sperry.
I could tell you, too, that from signing day, when we had this discussion, his skill set is nice. It fits. And also people in Texas.
Yeah.
We have got a contact who works in the Austin market, and they said that kid can spin it. Y'all got a good one.
Here's the thing. I got to go to the one scrimmage. Sperry had a couple of big highlight moments. And even, again, nobody's expecting anything from him this year, so it was kind of, it was all relative. But we were sitting there, and we did. All of us kind of looked around at each other and went, okay, all right, got a little something there. Think about the last few years when we've looked at guys that were coming in at quarterback. We've been nonplussed, and so that was nice to see that because of what you just said. It may be less about the way he projects to the league or anything like that, and much more about how he projects in this offense.
Correct.
And he throws on the run very well, and he's far more fast twitch and space than I think a lot of people would have guessed. Now, maybe we were stereotyping because he's a white quarterback. I don't know, but he can really move.
Honestly, no, I didn't. The first time I saw him was his huddle stuff, and I was like, ooh, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he embarrassed a couple people in the scrimmage, by the way. He got out on the edge and made some guys look dumb.
The question I was asking myself when I watched his huddle, and again, it's highlight film, so it's the best of.
Right.
But I was like, well, how's he 3? Because
he's only 6 feet tall.
And he's got to be inconsistent or something because the upper end of what he's doing, like, yeah, that works for what we're going to ask people to do.
Yeah, he throws well on the run. Hey, look, I mean, I don't want to get into like a 25-minute conversation on Sperry. I did ask the question, what will we be talking about this time next year? And all of these things are fair game. The people putting stuff in the chat that seems logical enough. You've talked about it. I think those are all real concerns too about having to dip back into the portal. Largely we're basing this on obviously the kind of season we think they're going to have this year, but also just personnel needs. And I think that the bigger story, because quarterback is always a huge story, will be the fact that I think they'll tab Sperry as the guy. Gus loves him and the fit that he is. And already he's sort of turned heads a couple of times. I don't know how many more times that's happened when we weren't around, but for Gus, he just did it again the other day, yesterday, or it was the day before yesterday, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He just did it again because he was asked to talk about the quarterbacks, and he talked about Tommy, and obviously he was excited about him and why they chose Tommy and all that.
Right.
He said, I've been proud of Brock's leadership. And then he went, no, Kevin is.
Well, yeah, and I see some things in the chat that say, well, guys, Tommy has another year. I'm like, well, look, if it works out really well, he's not coming back for another year, I don't think. If let's just say it worked out and everything was ideal, and you got,
we might disagree on this.
I don't think he's coming back. Now I know what you're going to say. You make more money in college football.
He's not an NFL quarterback, so he would have to take his money here. And I don't know what he's making, but would you say? I mean, maybe you do know. I haven't asked the question. It's close to $1 million, 700,000, 800,000.
That I couldn't pinpoint it, but it's in the
It's in the ballpark, right? Judging by what other quarterbacks are making around the country.
DJ got like 3/4 or somewhere around there last year, depending on who you ask.
So that's kind of the going rate.
Yeah.
Well, he's never going to play in the NFL at quarterback. So that's what you would do.
You believe that, and I believe that.
Yeah.
But, no, I'm saying the kid, if he has a great year, I think would take his chances and move on, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying maybe you could, as his advisor, you would say something different to him. You'd be like, what are you doing? Go back to Florida State for another year, be a man, and like amongst boys, because you're playing college football at 23.
Take another $1 million.
Right. I think if it works out swimmingly, he'll try and advance his career.
And I got no problem
level.
with people who have aspirations to play in the NFL. The thing is, though, it won't be a matter of your opinion, my opinion, or anybody. they can do the whole vetting process with the NFL. They get back that information. Correct. Well, that information is going to be, hey, man, undrafted free agent, right. 7th round.
If it works out swimmingly, he might get enough to say you might get picked 3rd day, and then he's gone. If it doesn't work out that well, then you probably were going to turn the keys over to the kid anyway. That's what I'm saying is, of the 2 scenarios this season, of how well could it possibly work with Tommy Castellanos,
he could have
there's a middle ground where he comes back, but I don't think that's the likely ground in which he would come back.
If he's average, we need to move on anyhow. If he's great, he could cash it in with another payday from us, possibly. And unless he's like a transcendently awesome out of nowhere, he's not going to get a draft grade that he'll find satisfactory. And that's not a knock. He's 5'10" or whatever that, I think that's what he is, around 5'10". He's never been a prolific passer. I just don't know who'd draft him high.
I'm just saying that we have a perception, and then the player has a different perception. That's part of what makes him say what he says to Nakos.
Yeah, he certainly does. But boy, that's a sobering grade when you get it back. That can wake you up. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Here's the cold, hard truth. Your body needs more than you're giving it to stay healthy. And now it's easier than ever with Vigor, the all-new cold plunge tub from Hot Spring Spas. Available only at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas in Tallahassee. Cold plunges reduce muscle soreness, boost mood, improve sleep, and so much more. It's not just a trend, it's science-backed wellness. And now you can have it in your own home. Ready to feel alive again? Pinch a Penny has the exclusive home use solution. Visit us on Capitol Circle Northeast and take the plunge.
Hey everybody, this is Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. Been in the industry now for 22 years. I just made the move over to the nation's largest retail lender, Cross Country Mortgage, here to serve you in 7 states, including Florida, Georgia, Alabama, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and the state of Texas. Here to offer better service, better rates, and if you were thinking about buying, or if you've been on the fence and been waiting to call me, now is the time. You can still find me at loansforknowles.com. That is, again, loansforknowles.com. I've helped thousands of fellow Knowles get into their dream home, and I can't wait to help you get into yours. Give me a call today. I'm at 954-369-6171, or go to loansforknowles.com. Again, that's 954-369-6171, and that's loansforknowles.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 373031.
Games for Less, Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used games, as well as new and used consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, PS4, and PS5. You name it. Locally owned and operated since 1994, trade-ins are not only welcome, but Games for Less pays more for your trade-ins than the big chain stores. That's not all. Games for Less now buys and sells new and used vinyl records to boot. George loves the Beatles, by the way. Reserve all the new releases today at Games for Less, conveniently located in the Walmart Supercenter Plaza on Appalachian Parkway.
Budget Blinds at Tallahassee is your local window covering experts. They do it all: blinds, shades, drapery, shutters, even home automation. And they'll be there with you from the design to the measuring to the installation. Budget Blinds is with you every step of the way.
Hello, I'm Gary, the local owner of Budget Blinds at Tallahassee. Let us help you with your unique window treatment needs. Call us at 668-4835 for a free in-home consultation, or find us online at budgetblinds.com/Tallahassee.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Knowles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee.
You're
Sports Flash Update on Real Talk 93.3 in Tallahassee.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers recently worked out some free agents, and they make the decision to sign running back Owen Wright. They need some depth at running back right now, as Josh Williams and DJ Williams are each sidelined for various reasons. So they bring in Wright. Wright has spent the past 2 seasons with the Ravens, but has played just 1 career regular season game. He had 89 yards and a touchdown for the Ravens against the Buccaneers in a 2023 preseason game. Tampa Bay Rays baseball, they lose to the Yankees yesterday by a 5-4 score in 11 innings. Series wraps today. Ryan Pepio on the mound. Marlins beat the Cardinals 2-0. They take that series. The Marlins tomorrow match up against the Yankees. This Sports Flash is presented by Progressive. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo insurance and save with Progressive. I'm Matt Pauley on Real Talk 93.3.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's. Right now, get a 4-piece GE kitchen suite for under $2,000. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt Max XR 8-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. Save big with deals that work as hard as you do. Shop Pro Savings Days in-store or online today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 8/1. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's not just a drink, it's a vibe. Cool off all summer long with bold and beautiful cocktails from Café de Martín. Try the stunning berry champagne with flowers on top, a refreshing pineapple coconut margarita, and the all-new Tamarindo Sour, or our spicy Cantarito. Available Tuesday through Friday for just $12.50. Take a trip to Peru this summer at Café de Martín in the Esposito Shopping Center. Online at cafedemartin.com.
Honey, what are these mushrooms in our yard? Portobello?
Huh. Let me take a look. Oh,
Shiitake.
I don't know, but our septic system is failing, and our whole yard smells like.
Should we try to cook these up and eat them tonight?
This is bad, Sheila.
Well, we better fix it soon, or we're going to be in deep.
Sheila, look. It's Crud Septic. Our prayers are answered.
Call Crud Septic Service today. Pump outs, installs, repairs. CrudSeptic.com. That's CrudSeptic.com.
This is Thomas Dickens from the Law Office of Marie Maddox. I'm a combat veteran and a former JAG. I've fought for our country, and now I fight to get you your back wages. If your boss has ever shorted your paycheck or withheld your overtime, you need to call me now. 850-383-4800. 850-383-4800. Or find us online at maddoxlaw.com.
Offices in Tallahassee.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
only locally owned and operated radio station in Tallahassee. And you're doing that when you support Warchant. Thanks for doing that. It's a busy time of year. Things are ramping up. It's exciting. Hall of Fame game tonight and a bunch of football to follow, right? It's the first domino falls. Yeah, most of us aren't watching everything in the preseason, but there's enough meat on the bone to tune in and just realize it's back on our television. Yesterday I didn't get to it, Tom. I think I saw it after the show. But the vote, and we had to vote when we went up to Charlotte. The ACC releasing its predicted order of finish conference in its preseason poll conducted by the media in Charlotte. Clemson, as we all would guess, was predicted to be the overall, overwhelming, I should say, leader in the clubhouse to win the conference. They got 167 first-place votes. That is, the next closest was 7. So it is an overwhelming number of folks that cover this league think Clemson is going to win this thing. Miami came in second. They got 7 first-place votes. SMU came in third. Georgia Tech came in fourth. Louisville at 5. Duke at 6. And our Noles came in at number 7. By the way, Florida State, 4 first-place votes. I did not vote us.
Yeah, I was wondering if anybody from our staff did that.
No,
not
that I'm aware of. I talked to the fellas. I don't think a single one of us picked Florida State to finish first. I don't think a single one of us predicted Florida State to finish second.
Maybe Phil Steele was there. He loves
Phil
the Noles.
loves us. He does. Well, there's a lot of people from outside. There are. It's interesting. The way that it works is Clemson, Miami, SMU, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Duke, Florida State, North Carolina, Pitt, NC State, Virginia Tech, who I had higher than 11th, Syracuse, Boston College, Virginia, Cal, Wake, Stanford. I would have taken Wake over Cal. And, yeah, everybody seems to think that Stanford is going to suck to high heaven. I would agree with that. And yet we're all nervous about that game, 10:30 at night on a Friday.
Well, we should be. They doubled our ACC win total last year when we finished 17th.
We did finish 17th.
17th.
Out of 17 teams, we finished 17th. It's something to behold.
It's the last time, really, I promise, that I'll dwell on these things. It's just when I saw the standings in the offseason, even though I knew it, when I saw it, standings.
It really hit you, huh?
Stanford. You're looking up at everybody in the standings. We added these patsies, and we finished behind all dead last in the ACC last year. My God.
We didn't talk about it when I was up there, but Haynes King's an impressive-looking young man, and I actually really like Miller Moss at Louisville, by the way. People forget that he went there. This is obviously you look first and foremost at quarterback when you're trying to rank teams. Now, line of scrimmage, as we all know, is the key component to consistently playing good football. But the sexier way to view these teams is always through the lens of who's your quarterback. And so right off the bat, Cade Klubnik projected to be a first-round draft pick in next year's NFL draft. He's the guy. He had a breakout season and looked like it finally slowed down for him. Jennings was terrible in the postseason. Kevin Jennings, SMU's quarterback, looked like a deer in headlights, couldn't handle the cold, really kind of almost single-handedly lost the game for them against Penn State. But that ran antithetical to what he did during the regular season for SMU, where he played very well for them in that offense and Rhett Lashley. So you get the benefit of the doubt. He was very, very good. They're not typically playing in 10-degree weather. He should have another good year.
As long as that wasn't the beginning of the end, it could be a very good season ahead for him.
Yeah.
But that could be a game that changes you forever, much like if a kicker goes 0 for 4. And you go, ooh.
It was a toughie.
Was that the end?
He was awful. I mean awful in that football game.
He invented ways. He and James Franklin battled for about a quarter there of who wanted to lose the game more. Who was going
to try to lose the game more, yeah. Carson Beck, obviously. Everybody looking at the Georgia transfer for Miami. The thing I was trying to glean when I was in Charlotte was how healthy is he? By all accounts, the Miami people say he's been throwing well and that he's had no discomfort and that he's good to go in every way. That was disappointing. I kid. Anyhow, but that he's...
We'll see. They would say that one way or the other.
They would, but I think there's video evidence of him throwing the football. And for his part, Carson Beck in the interview, did you see this? This cracked me up. Somebody sent it to me. I'll have to show it to you. I forgot all about it. This is so ridiculous, but I cracked up. So where I was seated for all of the interviews, I was right behind 680 The Fan from Atlanta. And my table was facing the camera that they use to film all their interviews. One of their hosts, who I don't know their host, but one of their hosts is the biggest Miami fan of all time. He's got a massive Miami tattoo. He's got a huge, oh yeah, he's got a big U on his calf. He's got a Miami Heat tattoo on his other calf. It's comical. Anyhow, so this guy is like all things Miami all the time. He Marlin, all of it.
Okay, you know what? If you're going to put the Marlin on your body, then I respect you.
Yeah, he had everything Miami. Like his love of Miami is unquestioned. The city of, right? He loves it. So here's the thing. He was so pumped that Carson Beck was coming through because they were going to get him. He's part of a 4-man team on 680. Probably more than I've ever talked about another radio station in my life. But anyhow, here's what's funny. Somebody sent it to me. The interview they did with Carson Beck, if you watch it on their site, it's me in the background just talking to you the whole time. I'm wearing a bright pink shirt. I'm just like, it's hilarious. That whole to the point where people are like, who's the guy behind you? It's hilarious.
That show looks better than this one I'm watching. Where does he work?
But yeah, so Carson himself, the reason I bring that up, indicated he's a full go.
They might have caught you on camera because I was asking you if he was looking gaunt when he's sitting right in front of me. I'm like, is he looking gaunt?
Yeah, he was sitting right in front of me.
Because his photo that ESPN has for the graphics.
Well, he's never been a big dude. He's a tall kid, but he's never been a big dude.
He just looks like he's 110 pounds. You're like, oh, no.
In person. Now, he's not as impressive physically as Haynes King, who's confident, well put together, and he's a good college quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to tell you he's something he's not, but he's a problem to deal with, as we found out. He is a confident runner. He's a big, strong kid.
Yeah, he won't bail you out when he's running the football. He might try to give it to you once. We had that one near interception just across the 50-yard line. We had him. That was that. The pass ended up being completed. It was some nonsense.
It was annoying, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's
he won't bail you out if it's 3rd and 1.5. You're like, well, I know what's coming, and we're gonna have to bring it.
Yeah, well, and I didn't realize the reason I bring any of this up is I didn't realize. So you're talking about Beck looking gaunt. Haynes is like 6'3", 6'3.5", 200+ pounds. Like he's a big kid. That's why he's not afraid to run. Part of my fear, Castellanos could have a great season, and we are going to obviously run him. But if that's the case, he's going to have to be durable. And we know Tommy is not a big guy. He's 5'9", 5'10", 190 pounds, 195 pounds. I'm not trying to slide him in any way, but he's not a big guy for college football. And especially if you're going to use him as a runner as consistently as I think we have to get the most out of what he is.
I think, honestly, the adage about where you get your injuries as a quarterback is when you drop back in the pocket. And you get hit unexpectedly. That's where they happen more often than not. Gus's offense will get the ball out of his hand pretty quickly. The only time he'll be holding onto the ball is if he's got an RPO or some sort of triple option look with a seam pass down the field.
Correct.
He's not going to be holding onto the ball and scanning. So I'm not too worried about him taking all that many hits as a pocket passer or dropping back. What I want to see is when he's out in the open field and he has a choice, what choice does he make? Sideline, slide, lower the shoulder.
I liked your first two options.
Yeah, me too. But that is going to tell you early on about the chances that he makes it through 12 games. If it's Alabama and it's not a 3rd and got to have it, right? Because obviously in that situation, you don't want the slide. Yeah. You don't want the out of bounds.
Right.
Let's say it's 2nd and 10. He breaks the pocket, broken play, and here you go. It's a gain of 6. He could try and shake this guy and turn it into 20, or he could get down. That decision he makes in that moment is going to give me a lot of confidence one way or the other that he's going to make it through 12 or he's not going to make it through 12.
I've always been of this mindset. Football's a violent game. It's a collision sport. It is the risk of getting hurt is omnipresent. But if you're a football player, you're a football player. Now, I understand that if you're a starting quarterback, especially if you're a pocket passer and you're not accustomed to running, and that's not your unique gift, we need to keep you upright, protect you, let you scan and throw. That when you run, because that's not the crux of what you do, you go ahead and get down. You get the 6 and get down. We'll live 2nd and 4. Let's go. You could have maybe juked that dude, but don't do it, right? I don't think you can do that with Tommy. You got to let him run. You got to let him. Again, you can't take unnecessary risks. Against East Texas, are you trying to get an extra 2 yards, taking a shot from a safety who's coming up, who's got you targeted? No, don't do that against East Texas. We don't need that. We're going to win the game if you just turn and hand the ball off. But in these big games, he's got to be the dude that really gave us fits. If you think about it, he wouldn't run out of bounds against us. It pissed me off how often he kept the ball and stayed inbounds and made guys miss and got an extra 12 and 14 and 7. And you're oh, man, this dude ain't sliding. And your great runners don't do it. They don't get down. Because they have natural running instincts. They're good at it. They've always been able to make people miss. That's how they got to be great runners. That's why they were tabbed the way they were. They're not going out of bounds. Now, again, you've got to make good choices, but in the open field, you had a chance to make a guy miss. You pretty much have your whole life. It's what made you a good runner. Go ahead and make that guy miss, and let's try to get that extra 15 because that's what you've got to be for us.
It'll also give us a good sense of how fast he is relative to the best right out the gates in game 1. You know what I'm talking about. It's a run to the perimeter, and it could be designed or not. But you see, here comes the hybrid defender, linebacker, safety. And now you're doing math. You're calculating vectors.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota broke the math that your brain told you was possible.
Right.
So he gets to the corner. Here comes Jalen Ramsey. And you're like, oh, well, that's a gain of 6. And you're like, no, he got the corner and he got 14. Like,
yeah.
Well, that's a little different. Lamar Jackson did the same thing. Even before his game in Louisville, he did the same thing to us where you go, oh, that's okay.
It's a different level
you
speed.
Operated at different speed.
Dalvin did it to everybody, and he wasn't a quarterback, but Dalvin did it to everybody who ever tried to get the corner.
Yeah, because his burst was unbelievable.
Right.
He'd set up the safety with a jab step, and then he'd break outside. And you're like, he's not getting the corner. You're like, oh my God,
he's got gone.
There's 3 yards of separation.
Now, run against Clemson in the game we got screwed. That run, the short side, how the hell he caught that corner and was, God, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was special.
It's because of the move he made the line. But we all have an image of what Tommy is in our head from the road game. The home game, he didn't run till the end, and everybody was disinterested anyway. And they largely were the rest of the year. The year prior, that's the guy we have in our head. But we had the flu that day. All right. So what is Tommy's speed relative to the best? And you're going to get that answer within probably 10 plays on offense.
Yeah, that's exciting to me. I mean, you don't play Alabama every week. So we're going to have to take that with a grain of salt. There are very few teams that are going to have the level of talent and athleticism that Alabama does. Nobody else on the roster, nobody else on the schedule will have that level of athleticism. Clemson's a very good team. They might be the next closest, but
right. And 1 or 2 other opponents might have a guy that's that fast. But yeah, the point is he gets outside the right tackle and he's breaking off and you could tell he's in full sprint. Is it 2 yards because they're so much faster? Is it 6 because it's a decent battle? Because let's just say it is 6. I'll use that number again. That means when you play Virginia on the road, that's 12. That's 15.
Mm-hmm.
And you could feel very good about those circumstances.
Yeah, this is the level of intrigue, sir, is very high. I mean, this is what we don't know because they're going to be designed runs for him against Alabama. There are. It's how you're going to make him. It's how you're going to change the math. It's how you're going to make him play honest.
And also sets up the gadgets.
It sets up all the other stuff. Sure. Yeah. By the way, really quick as an aside, I know that we didn't see him hitting, and it is just guys in shorts. And hopefully, if you're at this level of football, you're always going to look like a heck of an athlete when we're wearing T-shirts and shorts. But Cromwell looked big yesterday in those videos. Cromwell looks like a big kid, man. I'm like, all right, it's a big dude.
He's the guy that I'm here for the speculation. Boggs, I'm pumping the brakes.
It's hard with receivers too, and
Well, and there are dudes in front of him. Like Squirrel healthy, it's going to be tough to get more targets than Squirrel this year. You're not going to. But if Crowbar does live up to the, I mean, his position coach said he's different. The head coach says he's different.
Yeah, we need to stop saying
the offensive
that,
coordinator does.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I mean, like, you don't need to say that anymore. Let's let him play a game. I mean, just because we've made this mistake before, and I don't mean you and me. I mean, it happens, but
I just find it interesting that 3 guys go that far.
Well, this is where it would be helpful to see practice because, for example, if you're going to talk about a guy and imply that he's, preternaturally gifted or transcendent, well, what do we do as Florida State fans? We think of Peter Warrick, and that's who we think of. Immediately, we go Peter Warrick because Peter Warrick did things people shouldn't be able to do, and every great electrifying receiver that subsequently has come down the pike for Florida State, we compare and contrast to Peter Warrick, as you should, because Peter Warrick was a bad son of a bitch.
Well,
ain't nobody close to Peter Warrick.
Well, and in truth, I think it's overstated how good this university has been at the wide receiver position. it is. The last 25 years.
No.
We've had like 2 dudes.
I knew this is your thing. I know.
It is my thing.
I know you get
we
mad
pride
about
ourselves.
this.
I'm like, man, that is 30 years ago. That's some Miami VHS stuff. I want us to get back there, but I mean, man,
we haven't
been
had
a minute.
Yeah, we haven't had a guy. No,
we've had some good guys. We've had some.
Rashad was a stud,
and you had a dominant Kelvin Benjamin for like 5 minutes, and he was unbelievable because he had 1,000 yards the next year in the NFL. I think he had 100 yards in that playoff game that they played in Seattle.
He was fantastic. Yeah.
So you've had these flashes,
little moments,
but it's not like we're a factory because we talk like we're a factory. It's like, hey,
no. I don't talk like we're a factory at wide receiver. I just point out that very few programs in the history of college football have ever had anybody as good as Peter Warrick. Peter effing Warrick. That's my guy. He was a freak, and I miss him terribly.
I do too. I mean, can we get one every 10 years?
Well,
one
no,
Peter
you can't.
He
was that kind of good. Can he be something close to? Like, they're talking about Boggs. You're like, well, don't come on now. Let's not do that. He's not Peter Warrick.
Maybe that's part of it. It's specifically the position. I think you nailed it. Thank you for the help there. That's the insight. I'm so burned by that position. And Rashad was amazing.
He was a very good player, and he was good from day one.
Right. And while he was record-setting, you knew that there's another level.
He wasn't Peter Warrick.
Right. The elite receivers, that we see a lot of them. Bama's had a bunch. LSU's had a bunch.
Oh, well, yes. We haven't had a Julio Jones. That is to be sure. Sweet Jesus.
Or Justin Jefferson.
Oh, well, Alabama has churned out crazy numbers of receivers in the last 10 years or 15 years. It's been absurd.
I just feel like, sometimes we think it's all right to have those guys. I'm like, well, I'd love that.
You're saying you'd like to see our Jalen Waddle. You'd like to see somebody.
Man.
Imagine that.
I'll take Jamison Williams. Come on.
Yeah, just something along those lines.
Anybody.
Yes. Yeah, we haven't had it.
Keon was good when he was healthy for like half the year.
Keon was great the first 4 games, and then then the deep thigh bruise, and we were screwed.
That didn't stop him from being good at punt returning, though. He was good at that the whole year
because he's a freak athlete. Not a speedy athlete, but a freak athlete, and strong.
Very strong.
Shannon Young, my man, Cross Country Mortgage, 7 states, Florida, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, Texas, Carolinas. Relentless, goal-oriented, smart, good guy. And helping Knowles everywhere, and non-Knowles for that matter. Loansforknowles.com. To learn more, go to loansforknowles.com. Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass cut, you're going to inspect the work, make sure it's good. Get your house painted, check around every corner and edge, make sure that's done right. Get a new roof, got to get eyes on those shimmering new shingles. Get your septic tank cleaned. Bet you're not popping your head down in there to take a look around. You got to trust it's done right. I'll make it easy. Go see my friend Greg Miller, Miller Septic. They're my guys. I trust them, and you can too. MillerSeptic.com. That's it. That's the commercial. That's the whole thing. Check them out. It's MillerSeptic.com. Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Some men follow the crowd. Others take the long way, the wayward way. At thewaywardgent.com, we've curated the gear, gadgets, and grit every respectable man needs. From the fairway to the fire pit, we've identified the top-rated Amazon finds, so you don't have to. No fluff, just the good stuff. Visit thewaywardgent.com for the man who's not afraid to live a little off course. Thewaywardgent.com.
When it's time to honor a life well lived, trust Cornerstone Memorials. Experts in creating meaningful memorials with generations of care and craftsmanship, we help you create a lasting tribute to your loved ones. Cornerstone Memorials creates custom designed headstones, mausoleums, detailed stone engraving, and more. Visit cornerstonememorials.org or call today to speak with a compassionate expert. Cornerstone Memorials, honoring life and preserving legacy.
Looking to upgrade your backyard, your business, or even your life? Then you've got to check out Southeast Portable Buildings right here in Tallahassee.
That's right. Southeast Portable Buildings has everything. Sheds, cabins, carports, and now beautiful decks to go with them.
Imagine a brand new storage building and a deck out front. Perfect for that morning coffee or for your family gatherings.
Need something custom? No problem. They'll work with you to find exactly what fits your needs. Big or small, simple or stylish.
And with easy financing options, you can make your dream space happen sooner than you think.
Southeast Portable Buildings, where you're not just getting a building, you're getting a lifestyle upgrade. Give our friends a call today, 850-580-6400. That's 850-580-6400.
Southeast Portable Building.
Big buildings.
Big decks.
Big dreams.
Southeast Portable Buildings on West Tennessee Street.
Searching for the best place to spend time outdoors this spring and summer? The Golf Club at Summerbrook has all the amenities you and your family need. Purchase a family pool membership this season and enjoy the most luxurious and relaxing resort-style pool in the entire city with a 6,000 square foot deck, covered pavilion, and poolside drink and food service. You'll feel like you're on vacation. Reserve your pool membership today. Visit the Golf Club at Summerbrook.com or call 850-894-GOLF. That's 894-GOLF.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
For what it's worth, on this, the last day of July, final Thursday of the month, Redemption Thursday sort of rumblings, not too distant future. Ohio State is a 3-point favorite over Texas. You buy that? Not me. I'll take Texas +3. Syracuse and Tennessee. Tennessee, nearly a 2-touchdown favorite, 13.5. Some other notable games, fun games. Alabama, favored by 13.5 currently over Florida State. They don't think much of us, buddy. This is in Tallahassee, Florida.
They don't, especially because Alabama was garbage on the road last year.
And it started as a 12-point game. It's up to 13.5.
Yeah.
So this is the way those things are trending. Some other notable games. LSU is a 3.5-point underdog to Clemson. Fun game, by the way. That's a fun game. I like Clemson in that game as well. But you think LSU fans are like, damn it, Brian. Damn it, administration. What are we doing?
You know, I'm seeing lists about guys on hot seats. I'm wondering, how's Brian Kelly not near the top of the list?
Well, but Tom, I mean, in fairness, again, I hear you, but I mean, they won 9 games, didn't they last year? I mean, it's not like they're out there losing their ass.
But he's not there to win 9. He was there to push them over the top. And now this is year 5 or year 4? Year 4.
Year 4. I mean, they're winning 9 games, 8, 9, 10 games.
They had a Heisman quarterback who he didn't even want to be the starter. And their defense was god-awful.
Right.
They've recruited okay to pretty good.
Well, it helps him that he's an offensive guy, and their offense was great.
With a guy he didn't even want. Now, Nussmeier that's his guy, and he didn't really cash in with him.
But you end up getting credit. Like, Norvell gets a lot of credit for Jordan Travis. He didn't want Jordan. He went and brought in a kid with no foot. I mean, sweet Jesus. So,
he at least talked about quitting, the game. He gets credit for that. But yeah, I hear you. He wasn't sure. He wasn't sure that Jordan was the guy.
No. Virginia Tech is catching 8.5 against South Carolina. Miami is an underdog at home. I use that term loosely. At the Hard Rock, Miami is a 2.5-point underdog to Notre Dame.
That's it? Interesting.
I think the offensive line in Miami is upper crust. So I don't know how you're going to be that much of an underdog to too many people at home when you have that offensive line. I don't think Carson Beck sucks like some people do. I have questions about Miami's receivers.
Right, so you're going to stack against Walton and that offensive line, and that's the game right there on that one side of the ball.
Yeah, on that one side of the ball.
It's like, can Carson make mediocre receivers good, or was he being carried by the greatness of the 10 men around him at Georgia? That's the question.
It is. I mean, obviously when he had weapons in the form of Brock Bowers and my favorite receiver from last year, they did things. Oklahoma's a 3-point favorite against Michigan as we sit here today, -3.
Really?
That's an all-uniform game right there, buddy.
It
Michigan,
is.
Oklahoma.
That is also the line that is staring at me and smiling and saying, go ahead, do it. You think that line is wrong team's favor? Go ahead.
That's September the 6th. It's pretty early. I mean, I think that's the game that gets ignored. I think people are like, wait a minute, what? Michigan and Oklahoma are playing each other? Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Is that a night kick? Do we know that yet?
7:30 p.m.
Oh, buddy.
In Norman.
We've got a noon that day. That's beautiful.
I wish we could fly to Norman. Wouldn't that be something?
I wish we could fly as people.
I would rather teleport, I guess. Clemson, Georgia Tech. Clemson an 8.5-point favorite. Georgia and Tennessee. Georgia a 7.5-point favorite. What used to matter to a lot of people, Pitt and West Virginia, matters not now. 2.5-point spread. Pitt favorite. The Fighting Narduzzi's.
What was the old man's name at corner pocket? Was it Jerry? He was from West Pennsylvania, and he lived for West Virginia Pitt. He loved that game.
I forgot about him, but you're right. Is he dead?
I don't know.
Probably. Texas A&M, 7-point underdogs against Notre Dame. Florida, 5.5-point underdogs against LSU at LSU. These are fun. Miami, 3.5-point favorite over Florida. These lines are out. You can bet them right now.
Lagway in the boot, right? If you've got a feeling about that, you could pounce on these games.
I don't know how you could have a feeling about it. I mean, that'd be weird. Like, I project by the time Florida and Miami play, I mean,
you're saying Cavs don't go away. And
Cavs are annoying, yeah.
And that's early in the season. That's not a November line. Miami, Florida, right out the gate, and LSU, Florida's week 2, week 3.
Miami and Florida, September 20th. So
they go at
got
LSU.
A little time.
They go at LSU, at Miami, back to back. Good Lord. I knew that the schedule was difficult because they were flipping opponents from last year in terms of venues.
Yeah.
But it's at Baton Rouge.
Yeah, it's a toughie.
And at Miami. And those Canes.
They'll show up for that one. You think? Yeah, they'll show up there for that one. DMX will be loud and clear as you're walking in. Michigan, Nebraska. Michigan -3.5 against Nebraska in Lincoln. That's kind of a game where if the Nebraska fans are like, come on, man, we going to start winning around here? We going to do anything here at home? This is kind of the game.
At what point, question mark?
Yeah, like when are we allowed to have expectations?
Boy, Vegas does not like Michigan this year. You're telling me those are the numbers for OU and Nebraska, respectively?
Yeah. Ooh. Ohio State is a 13.5-point favorite over Washington. Notre Dame is a robust 10.5-point favorite in Fayetteville against Arkansas in the month of September. 10.5. That seems weighty. It's a noon game. Seems a little weighty. Georgia's a 4-point favorite over Alabama in Athens. Good game.
You have the date on that one?
September 27th.
Okay.
Oregon, a 5.5-point underdog on the road against Penn State.
Is that right?
Come on, man. My guy Dan Lanning ain't going out there to lose to Franklin.
No. Not unless he, for the pregame speech, takes his shirt off and jumps into a pool of water.
It's a toughie. Miami is a 7-point favorite over Florida State, currently in Tallahassee. You going to jump on Knowles plus 7?
Well, you gave me a hook, didn't you?
It's just 7.
Just 7?
It's just 7. You can bet it up or down if you'd like.
Yeah, I could. For a prize.
Texas is a 6.5-point favorite over Florida in Gainesville in the Swamp, October the 4th.
There's a team I don't know anything about, but I feel like they're going to be pretty good.
Who, Florida?
No, A&M. Old Elko's A&M. Just because of Elko. Man, they're going to be pretty good this year.
I like Elko.
And I couldn't name you a player on the roster. That's the respect I have for Mike Elko.
You're not kidding about people not respecting Michigan or the books not respecting Michigan. Southern Cal's favored over Michigan.
Really?
It's a point, but yeah. Well, actually, that's moved. I'm sorry. I got it wrong. Michigan's a 1-point favorite over Southern Cal.
Still. It's within touch. Although last year, USC beat him, right? So
Georgia is only a 7-point favorite over Auburn. I think I would take Georgia and lay the 7.
Interesting. That's got to be about the spot on the schedule.
Louisville is a 6.5-point dog in October to Miami, in Miami. Texas is a 9.5-point favorite over Oklahoma.
That feels light.
In the Red River. Georgia is a robust 10.5-point favorite over Ole Miss.
Yeah, I believe that.
Clemson's an 11.5-point favorite over SMU. That game is at Clemson. Give me Clemson, and I'm laying the 11.5. I'll give you one more. We got to move on from this.
What was that? Clemson where? You said LSU. You mean
SMU.
SMU. Okay.
On the road against Clemson.
Okay.
Clemson's an 11.5-point favorite.
Home favorite. Got it.
Alabama, a 12.5-point favorite over Tennessee. That game is in Alabama, at Alabama. And finally, Notre Dame is a 10.5-point favorite over USC. Okay, I'll give you one more. I can't help it. Miami on the road at SMU, a 1.5-point favorite. And then finally, LSU is a 5.5-point favorite over Texas A&M in Baton Rouge.
I didn't realize Miami goes to play SMU on the road this year.
Saturday, November the 1st.
Huh. Yeah, I like that. SMU's going to win that game.
Ohio State is a favorite, of course, over Penn State, and Georgia more than a touchdown favorite over Florida over in Jackson.
So over under 45 confidence units for you as you place your Oregon over Penn State wager. Oregon plus 5.5. Is that your 50-unit lock of the year?
No, everybody loves this Penn State team, and I know why. It's because of the projected NFL talent in the draft. Like, if you just go to these draft trackers, you'll see Penn State is loaded. Now, he has done a good job of recruiting. It's just that we don't believe in Franklin, and for good reason. We just don't believe in Franklin. The best thing that ever happened to James Franklin is this playoff, where you don't have to be good and you can make it. Like that's the best thing. Because if it was still 4 or God forbid the old system, he ain't going ever. 12, 14, 16.
Well, certainly when they have 4 representatives that are auto, he'll be number 4 every year.
He'll be in the playoff every year. It'd be the job-saving moment.
They won't call it the number 4 seed.
Yeah.
They'll just call it the Penn State seed.
It's tough, man. CBD gummies are tasty. Cornbread Hemp's got them. And if you want a natural way to relieve aches and discomfort, the CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp, formulated to work with your body, not against it. It's for mental wellness. It's for physical wellness, less stress, all those things. Try Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. All products are third-party, lab-tested, USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. And that's a good thing. Right now, this is also a good thing. Jeff Cameron Show listeners can save 30% on their first order. Head to cornbreadhemp.com/warchant. Use code warchant at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/warchant. Use code warchant.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley.
Mortgage, here to serve you in 7 states, including Florida, Georgia, Alabama, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and the state of Texas. Here to offer better service, better rates, and if you were thinking about buying, or if you've been on the fence and been waiting to call me, now is the time. You can still find me at loansforknowles.com. That is, again, loansforknowles.com. I've helped thousands of fellow Knowles get into their dream home, and I can't wait to help you get into yours. Give me a call today. I'm at 954-369-6171, or go to loansforknowles.com. Again, that's 954-369-6171, and that's loansforknowles.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 373031.
Hey, you, can't you read the sign? It says, keep off the grass.
Oh, but I just wanted to feel it.
Excuse me?
I wanted to feel what it was like to have an amazing lawn like you do. It always looks so good, even in the summertime. How do you do it, neighbor? They're called Lawn Johns. They come once a week. Maybe you should give them a call so you can tell other people to stay off your lawn. How's that sound? Ooh, yes. I would love to tell people to stay off my lawn.
For the very best in lawn care, call the Lawn Johns at 850-322-2567.
Stay off my lawn.
There is no Bigfoot, Eddie. Would you stop with that nonsense?
There's a Bigfoot, Jeff.
I wish there were. By the way, I don't want you to point to me as the guy that takes all the fun out of the room. I wish there was the Loch Ness Monster. I wish there was the Bigfoot. I wish there was the Chupacabra. All the things.
They're all mythical except for the Bigfoot. The Sasquatch.
The Bigfoot?
The Bigfoot. There's big feet. There's lots of them.
So, like, different, breeds, like different kinds
there's like, families. There's different families. And,
so there's if they're in the snow, you call them a Sasquatch.
Or the Yeti. Right,
yep,
and then here in Florida, that's a skunk ape, and
I've never heard that one. By the way, why do you think it's real? We would have found them by now.
They're the hide and seek champions of the world. Nobody finds the Bigfoot.
I think you believe in Bigfoot.
I do believe in Bigfoot.
You don't believe.
I believe in Bigfoot.
Don't tell anybody you believe in Bigfoot.
I would go look for Bigfoot, but he scares me.
Gordo's bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Man, I saw somebody mention that can't wait till we're invited back to Ireland. I'll go again. It'll be my fourth time in Ireland, but I will go.
Yeah, well, I'm also looking at, and heads up, Gene, if you're listening, if the Bucks ever get invited, I will do the pregame and postgame shows from Ireland. I will find a way to connect internet-wise to do Florida State work for the Bucks Dublin game, because now that the NFL has made its way to Dublin, they're not going away.
Oh no, they won't.
And the Bucks are well thought of across the pond. They have a pretty sizable fan club in London.
Let's go.
So I'm hoping they try to expand to Dublin with Tampa Bay football.
I am with you. I will have a blast. We will go. It'll be fun. When I was there the penultimate time, our guide was talking about how big the Steelers game was all those years ago that they had played there, and I had forgotten about that game. It was a long while ago, but the Steelers played there, and people were pumped. They were really, it was where the rugby team played, and Crow Park, I think it is, and that's where they played, and they loved it. And they have an appetite now that stadium is relatively modern.
Yeah. It's plenty good.
Oh, it's plenty good for you and me in the press. The underneath it's just not getting it done. But compared to an NFL or even a college football locker room, it's built for soccer. So it's tiny. They don't have enough space. They make it work. The field, awesome. The stadium, awesome. Location, fantastic. People, wonderful. The sight lines, incredible. They're fine. Those locker rooms are not up to standards of American football. And it's good because it's not built for that. But that stadium is wonderful. And I was laughing at that. I mean, it's amazing. American fans went over there and bought up all of the booze. It was impressive. I mean, Nebraska Northwestern 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it was, you saw that the Guinness train that they had going there, which was amazing. They ran out. I don't even know how that's possible. And then this past year, the Teal and Whiskey, People were plowing through it. It was unbelievable. They had to have come away impressed with the American sport fan.
Oh, yes. The passion for it. Yeah. Well, look, there is admiration across the world for college football fans, because fans of Premier League, fans of whatever the elite soccer league is or rugby league is in a given country, be it Ireland, you could be in Canada or over in the UK. They see what we see. They understand us, the college football fan, because of the songs, the pageantry, the way the game presents.
Yeah.
The NFL, that sterile thing does translate over there where they're saying, the NFL is not the same. And they can't put their finger on why.
Well, that's why.
It's because, that's the one thing that hasn't gone is, as we're in a transitional era of college football, I hope it never sterilizes itself quite like the NFL's presentation.
I'm worried about it.
I am too. But that's why, man, wherever I went, traveling the last 10 years, you cover college football? I love college football. For them, it's like an F1 fan over here.
Yeah. Yeah, they get pumped about it. It's the pageantry. You're right. With little doubt. The NFL has its venues where that is a thing, but not nearly enough of them. A place I'd really like to go see a football game. Obviously, I want to go to Green Bay, and I blew the opportunity a couple years ago when the Bucs went up there and won. I could have gone to that game, didn't, and I'm always going to regret it. We have a mutual friend, Ray, went there and had a blast, and then they were in the creamsicle and the whole thing. I got to do it before I'm gone. I've done it to Soldier Field, saw the Bucs play an overtime game against the Bears in 20-degree weather. It was freaking awesome. But I got to go to Buffalo. I want to see a game in Buffalo so bad. I mean, their fans are unhinged. I kind of like that. I'm really excited to see it in person. I admire their passion. I'd love to go to a game there.
We just played there. Was it maybe the COVID season?
We did just play.
It was
there
a primetime game.
We didn't play poorly. We hung in there. We just didn't win. As I recall.
Okay, this year, buddy. The 16th of November at Buffalo.
Who do the Noles play on the 15th?
Hang on.
Because it'd be nice.
That's
and
that
chilly.
stretch of like Virginia Tech, NC State. I might be Virginia Tech at home.
It'd be nice and chilly. It won't be freezing in November. Make our way on up to Buffalo.
You mean Dovember? Virginia Tech on the 15th, the day before. Yes,
I've been to what used to be called Mile High. I've been to Denver. I've been to. It's funny. I'm thinking of the more collegiate atmospheres, and for a while there, and it's a shame because they haven't mattered. But the Tennessee Titans were said to have had that for a while. Seattle does.
I don't know why. That's another one. It's like when they cut to Arizona, when they cut to Tennessee, we go to Tennessee. The Titans have it 1st and 10 at the 11. Like, nope. There's something about it.
The Bucs play the Titans on the 9th here in Tampa Bay, preseason.
Oh,
I know.
A classic preseason tilt.
What a matchup. Yeah, preseason is now, Tom, 3 games. That's all it is. You get a 4th if you're in the hall. That's it.
Yeah,
you get 3 games. So, yeah, that's it. That's all. But, that Titans were said to have it for a long time. And I guess not anymore. Certainly not Jacksonville.
Also, I think of all the teams in the NFL, I think you'd probably say you would change Cincinnati's helmet. But
I hate it.
Tennessee's is, I never thought it was cool. Not even when they first had it in the late 90s when they moved from Houston. Come on now. I would lean back into the Oilers colors.
I would too. And the problem is the Houston Oilers uniforms were awesome.
Yep.
That helmet was awesome. And you can't be the Oilers if you're in Tennessee.
Correct. You cannot, but you can go back to those essentially Ole Miss colors for you youngins out there who don't know what the Oilers uniforms look like. It's Ole Miss colors. You got that baby blue, that beautiful striking red. That's what they need to go back to. Not this like 3 shades of blue stuff they wear.
It cracks me up that you and I, if we were the lords of the NFL and we could strike teams from the record and let them go about their way in some other league, we would go to Arizona and say, it's been real. Have a good one. Get the hell out of Dodge.
I'd send them back to St. Louis. St. Louis Cardinals. Have it ×2 like it used to be.
So we would do that to them. We'd tell the Carolina Panthers, thanks, it's been real. Get the hell up out of here. Nobody's got a use for you.
Nope.
Get out. We would tell, I think.
I'd let Houston stay, but I'd change them to the Colt 45s. They got to go back.
Or just call them the Oilers.
Or the Oilers. Yeah.
Jacksonville, you got to get off your ass or you're getting the red line. You got to get out.
Yeah, basically, what was that, the 96 expansion, 97 expansion?
You haven't mattered in forever. We're crossing you out if we don't get it together. Now, you got Travis Hunter, so you get a reprieve.
You know what? You could move him to Orlando and call them the Predators, because that was a really cool look for that indoor team. The Orlando Predators.
The last time I talked poorly about and besmirched Jacksonville, which has been a running joke on this show for 20 years or however long that they've been around, a guy down in Naples who listens to the show and clearly a massive Jaguars fan was so distraught that he emailed me at 11:48 at night, which means he was tanked listening to the podcast and was like, this son of a bitch. And he sent me a lengthy email in which I responded, and then he wrote back that he was apologized, that he was.
It's an unbelievably sensitive fan base. I don't get it.
Because they get ragged on. And listen, that logo is dumb. We got to do better. It's a cartoonish Jaguar.
Were Tampa fans this sensitive in the 90s before we ever got good? You could tell me better. You lived it a little bit more.
Remember, we had been good. We made the NFC Championship game. We were the fastest team in the history of football to do it after being dreadful.
But that was it. I mean, you're named to 94, 95, and there's nothing happening.
Yeah, there was a long stretch.
So basically, 23 years, you had your one moment.
You know why they weren't sensitive? They weren't talked about. They were not talked about at all. I didn't realize that the Dolphins hadn't won a playoff game in 25 years.
Yeah.
20, is that right?
Yeah.
Dolphins fans, did I see that correctly? You guys haven't won a playoff game in 26 years?
Yeah, I think they won the division the year that Brady got hurt. And the Patriots still went 10-6, but Miami carried the division.
11-5.
Or 11. Okay.
Yeah.
Miami carried the division, but they lost to Baltimore, I believe, in the first round of that playoff.
Probably, yeah.
Because that was the best. That was the best shot they've had in a long time.
I mean, I couldn't believe that. That is ruthless. To be a franchise that hasn't won a playoff game in damn near 30 years. Because they went to the playoffs 2 years ago.
Yeah, they did.
They had to go to Buffalo, and they got beat. It was cold, didn't they?
Well, that was the year before. That was 3. 2 years ago, it was Kansas City, and it was -5.
Well, they're always having
that
to
game
go
was already, yeah.
But it's because they choked the final home game of the year. They had to go on the road. It was, oh, man.
2000. Overtime over Indy, 23-17. That was it.
25-plus years ago. My God.
Yeah, 08, they played the Ravens, and they lost 27-9. I remember I was at my buddy Pat's house. That game
He's
was
a huge Dolphins fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know Pat.
Yeah.
And his mid-second quarter, game's over. And, it turned ugly in the home. I was like, ooh, buddy. It was fans turning against their franchise.
Well, I got a buddy, Eric, who's a huge...
Thanks for these last 4 months.
It's the beauty of football fans. I got a buddy, Eric, who's a massive Dolphins fan. And, of course, my dad has a sweet spot in his heart for the Dolphins because he was a Dolphins fan when the Bucs didn't exist, and he was down in Miami. And anyhow, he gets so mad when we bring up the Dolphins, and I bring it up every year at the start of the season. Like, hey, Dolphins, what do you think about the Dolphins, Dad? He's, oh!
You do, but the soft spot for the Dolphins only grows over the years with you.
I have gotten to where I kind of like the Dolphins, and I never did. I hated them. I don't know why. I just did. I thought of them as maybe it's just because the Dolphins haven't been a threat to the Bucs in terms of mattering in forever. And so I've just been like, oh, well, okay. The Dolphins got passed over and have been for a long time.
Do you remember the time they played the Jags in 1999 in the playoffs, the Dolphins?
Yeah, it was 63 to something.
Very good.
Yeah, it was Jimmy Johnson was the coach.
That was
Dan
it.
Marino's last game.
That was it. Yeah, that was how they went out.
Dan Marino's last game, and I remember laughing hysterically with every touchdown that Jacksonville scored. And then I knew not to say something to my dad because he was done.
It was 62-7.
Yeah, I told him, I said to my dad, I go, that's how Marino deserves to go out.
Oh, man. That's kind of crossing the line.
It is so wrong. It is so wrong of me to have done that. Why would I say that?
Yeah. Here were his numbers. He was 11 of 25 for 95 yards.
Oh, time was up on old Dan.
A touchdown and 2 picks. They sat him. They benched him in the game. Damon Heward came in. 5 for 16 for 46 yards.
Yeah, but it was, and I also don't believe that. I should not have said that to my dad. I don't.
You should not have said that, Dad. It was 24-0 in the first quarter. Actually, 31-0. 12 seconds into the second quarter, it was 31-0. Basically, what we did to NC State in 2013 is what happened to them in an NFL playoff game.
Grand opening, grand closing. It reminds me, and it was not a playoff game, thankfully, when we were so mad, you and I, at Lovey, with the most predictable cover 2, no nuance whatsoever defense in the history of football. And there we are with the Ravens scoring every time they touch the ball. They set records.
Yeah, that was a 1:00 kick. That was Flacco. It was in Tampa. But there was another one like that, too. It was a Mike Smith special against Atlanta on the road in prime time.
Yeah, but the one in Tampa with the Baltimore Ravens was the worst one. That was absurd. Didn't I say to you, like, you can't let him stay on the job. They gave him like 40 points and a half.
2014. Yeah, there it was. October 12th, 48-17. So they really called off the Dogs.
Oh, it was ungodly, that beating.
So Michael Campanaro from Wake Forest caught the fourth touchdown in the first quarter to put Baltimore up 28-0 with 1 second to go in the first quarter.
That is humiliating.
It's 38-0. 38-0 with 8:41 to go in the second quarter.
Final hour forthcoming, flies by when you're talking football. A lot of fun. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.